Emotions. If you understand how they work, you can influence anyone, from the person sitting beside you to the greatest ruler of this world. This isn't just manipulation, this is psychological war, the war to rule, to be the greatest. Guilt. It is a feeling that arises when people think they have hurt someone unintentionally or ruined their own image. This emotion activates the middle frontal cortex part of our brain, which is responsible for social behavior, reward processing, and much more. When this emotion activates, the person will apologize more or become sad for what they did. The manipulators exploit this by reminding target of the duties or past favors they have done. And in the modern era, on social media, people talk about the guilt trip, and this is the same, but instead of tricks, we are going inside the victim's brain and how it functions, because manipulation isn't about just tricks, but how to control the way they think. And now moving on to how manipulators use this trick. Let's understand with a story. Take here a guy named Mike, and on his birthday, his friend, let's call her Lena, made a cake. But Mike criticized Lena, saying it's not good. So here Lena can use the emotion of guilt by saying,
I stayed up whole night just to make a cake, to make this day memorable still.
then she may fake cry. And in response of this, the part of our brain will create the emotion of guilt. And in response, either to save our social image or to make ourselves feel better, we apologize. So in reality, all the emotions are for our own selfish reasons. So insecurity. Insecurity is the fear or doubt that one is unworthy in some way. This emotion is mostly planted by our families, friends, or close ones. This emotion is derived from the emotion of fear, one of the three core emotions to manipulate someone. If you haven't watched the video where I explain the three core principles, check out our manipulation playlist. The amygdala part of our brain, responsible for threat and fear detection, give rise to this emotion. Manipulators use this emotion either by showing themselves as a square or someone who's telling the truth. But they aren't. They are just playing with your emotion. In the context of rescuer, they might make you extremely insecure regarding your looks, body, or anything like that. And after that, they might try to help you, trying to build trust, to exploit it later on. And the next way manipulator use is mostly to disturb you mentally. They will just bully you and you make you more insecure. Oh, this emotion works on dopamine, an happy feeling. This emotion activates dopamine and other hormones of our body, making us feel better. Thing about human brain is it craves result, not process. It needs the reward, not the hardship. And that is where this emotion comes in hand. From the greatest marketing agency to the same people beside you, they all use this emotion either in positive way or negative, either to harm or help you. And now let's learn how manipulator use this emotion. They will create a scenario of potential. They might say,
You might have if you worked a little bit.
most case is that manipulator just want to buy time or take something valuable from you, or to make you mentally ill. And this emotion is most used in modern era, probably ranking at 5th or 6th, because it's used in each and everyone's household. Same. This emotion can also be called a hybrid of guilt and insecurity. In this emotion, both the feeling of unworthiness and self-hatred comes in between. Like in guilt, we try to correct the mistake, and in insecurity, we try to make ourselves better, to not go through the same feeling again. But in same, we feel extreme hate towards ourselves, making it hard to understand what's going on. Manipulators exploit this by not trying to act as a rescuer, but making the self-esteem of the victim lower and lower, to the point the only one the victim has is manipulator. The manipulator will try to isolate the victim in most of the cases. Lust, the emotion which is used most in this world, from the ads to social media to 18 plus content. This emotion is driven by sexual stimuli and is not used by manipulators in most cases, but by social media and marketing agencies. Our brain was programmed for survival, so having offspring is a part of it. But the social media and all the bullshit program us into the negative side of our survival instincts. From having sex, what we just look for is a body. Like having sex isn't bad, but doing those all bullshit and other thing is worse than you think. It destroys you mentally and physically. Like just don't watch those videos or do those shitty things. Like after when you watch those 18 plus content or anything like that, what you just look for is body to have sex. If you want a full guide on how to get rid of this behavior, tell me in comments. With that said, I will take a leap. But remember, in this world, only the richest, strongest, and the most powerful survive.